Hi, it's Alaska Granny. I've been to Walmart and added some things to my prepper pantry food storage stockpile, and I thought I would share with you not only some tips on what types of foods to get, how you should store and rotate your foods, but also I was surprised when I thought I would order online and then they gave me the option for delivery. I don't belong to the Walmart delivery program, but when I was checking out, it gave me the option to actually have it delivered for $7.99. And I was thinking, wow, the price of gas just went up to $4.19. Maybe it would be worth it. Well, then I put that option in and I went to check out, and suddenly they added on a 15% tip. If I'm already paying a fee, why do I also have to pay a tip? And the tip was more than the delivery charge. So I changed my order to pick it up. I spent the money on the gas going to the store and spent the remainder of the money on going out to lunch for myself. Now what's surprising is that if they want to deliver it to me, that they try to add on a tip, but when I tried to give the guy who put it into my car a tip, he said, oh no, we're not allowed to accept tips. So that didn't make sense to me. I don't understand that whole tipping thing. If I'm already being charged, I shouldn't be required to tip. And if I want to tip somebody because I'm glad they did it for me, I thought everybody could accept a tip. So Walmart, some of your business procedures are definitely confusing. So what are some simple food storage tips? First of all, whenever you go to the store, pick up something. Every little item that you add to your food storage stockpile in your prepper pantry is going to be a meal that you could have in the future. So even if you don't have a lot of money, little by little, as you add to your food storage stockpile, then you're going to have quite a bit of food. It's surprising how quickly it adds up and how comforting it is to know that you have those foods available to feed yourself and your family. When you're making your grocery budget, make sure that you include a few dollars for budgeting for your food storage stockpile and your prepping supplies. If you have those as a line item on your budget, it's easy to save up a few dollars to get something that costs more, and it also is a reminder to continue to add to your prepping supplies. Add variety into your stockpile, especially if you're starting from nothing. If you just buy, say, 50 pounds of rice and that's the only prepping supply you have, and the world goes to SHTF tomorrow, that's all that you have. You don't want to go into an emergency situation when all you have is, say, 50 pounds of rice or 20 cans of chili. You want to have a variety. So as you pick things up, get different items that you can combine to make meals. Strategize as you're preparing things of foods that you know how to prepare. You're willing to eat them, and then you can rotate them anytime you need an extra meal. The best strategy is to continue to use, rotate, and replace your foods, and if you use one, buy two, replace it with two. So that's how you grow your stockpile. Also, if you're like me and you end up with dented cans, look at this terrible dent in this can. Use those cans first. You don't want to put a dented can away for the long term because the can might be compromised. Now, I wouldn't normally choose this at the store, but sometimes when you pick up things, you don't even realize that they're dented until you've gotten home. And then I'm not driving all the way back to the store to try to get a refund on one can. It's very frustrating. The cans don't seem to be made as sturdy as they used to be. So be aware, check things over. Also make sure that you're looking at the dates. You want to have foods that have the longest date on them so that the food can last longer. Foods that are nearly expired are not what you want to add into your food storage stockpile because you want foods that'll last the longest. Okay, so what did I buy today at Walmart? The first thing I bought was a box of instant potatoes. These are just potato flakes. There's nothing else included but the potatoes. When you want your food to last the longest, you need to try to find the single ingredients. You don't want things that have oil, butter, or other ingredients. Those aren't going to last as long. So while something like the little packets of Idahoan potatoes are very flavorful, they can last for a few years. But if you want the longest lasting potatoes, get something that's simply potatoes and that's it. So these are going to go into a food storage container. I can store them in a jar. I could put them into a Mylar bag. They need to be stored airtight for them to last the longest. Remember, the better you store your food, the longer it's going to last. This trip was all about potatoes, it looks like. I bought 3 boxes each of scallop potatoes and au gratin potatoes. These can last for a few years. You never want to store your food just in the cardboard box or a cellophane wrapper. I'm going to take these out of the box and store them into a clean canning jar and put on a tight-fitting lid. These aren't going to last for the longest term because there's all kinds of spices and oils and things in the little sauce packets. The dried potatoes themselves would last forever, so if you do find that you've had these too long, don't be afraid to use the potatoes, but you may find that these little sauce packets aren't any good anymore. I store a lot of foods like this in jars, and then I cut out the directions and insert it into the jar with the ingredients and store it away cool, dark, and dry. For some reason, beef stroganoff was fresh in my mind, so I chose 3 different types of ready-to-prepare boxed meals that I could simply make out of the prepper pantry into beef stroganoff. So the first one I bought was the Knorr pasta size beef stroganoff, and then I picked up the Great Value stroganoff pasta skillet dinner, and then I chose the Hamburger Helper double pack. I'm going to try to make a video comparing these 3 different stroganoff type meals and see which one is actually the best. It's probably going to be the one that costs the most, but not necessarily. So we'll see what happens. I will keep you posted as I experiment with these packaged meals. I bought 2 boxes of onion soup mix, which I thought was incredible. These were up to like more than $2 a box. That's crazy. So I think I'm going to have to look up again. I used to have a recipe on how to make your own onion soup mix, and I may have to look that up, see about making some more of my own, because this can be a really delicious way to add flavor into your meals, but it's getting to be pretty expensive to add these kinds of seasonings and flavors. Let me know what the price is where you are. That seems like a crazy amount of money, and it could just be Alaska prices. While fresh limes are preferred, we can't always find them or afford them. I picked up a bottle of the Great Value 100% lime juice, and this was less than $2. I thought that was a good price and a nice way to have lime juice in my prepper pantry. In the past, I also bought some of the little packets of lime powder, and those are handy, but they're not quite the same either, but it's a way to have lime in your prepper pantry. I picked up a container of thyme. It's surprising. The spices are going up, and this one was about $3. So thyme isn't one that you can pick up for $1 or $1.25, but it's nice to have it because it's tasty. I recently made a video about some spices and seasonings that might be nice to add to your prepper pantry food storage stockpile. I'll put a link to that video in case you want to know what spices you might want to store and what are some great ways to store them so they'll last the longest. I added 3 cans of diced chilies. This is the mild flavor. I recently was using some of my chilies and I discovered one of the cans was bulging, so you might want to make sure that you're really inspecting your foods. You want to know what the date is on the food and make sure that the cans haven't been leaking, splitting, bulging, and you want to toss anything that doesn't look right. These are the foods that I picked up at Walmart to add to my food storage stockpile in my prepper pantry. I'm going to be storing them away in an airtight container, sampling a few of them in ways that I haven't really tried before. Adding to my food supply gives me comfort, peace of mind that I know that I can continue to feed my family even if something crazy happens. And so that's the comfort of being a prepper and why I want others to be preppers too, so we can enjoy the life we have and get the most out of every single day. We don't want to have fear. We also don't want to go without. We don't want any suffering. We want happiness and the supplies that we need. Leave us a comment. What are you adding to your prepper pantry food storage stockpile? I hope you'll like my video, share my video, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.